Hadn69. I'm the admin at AlienMC, which is one of the largest completely public FTP servers, I think.
That's exciting.
And I have a phaser too.
Right.
So, I think we're just gonna do a question and answer, and does anyone have any questions?
Yes, of course. My question would be, what is the biggest challenge to you in maintaining such a large server?
Honestly, building Cauldron. It is a pain, it's a hack, but it's pretty much required if you want any sort of protection from, well, just basically accidents half the time. I mean, it is of the questionable legality. Okay, fine.
I thought it was fine.
Well, I can still boost it a bit.
Alright, I put a question in.
Is that better? Because my gain's all the way up now?
I don't hear any difference, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
I think it was quiet in the first place.
Yeah.
Just as I get a fairly decent, recording system, it's kind of quiet.
How'd you go about getting yourself popular?
That was done mainly through advertisements on the Feed the Beast subreddit. I mean, it's a major resource that not a lot of people have.
What is your opinion on the Sponge API, and do you think that it can help the current situation?
I actually like the Sponge API. I like what it's trying to do. I'm not happy that it's only coming out for 1.8. That won't really help with the current situation of like every mod being stuck on 1.7.10. But
No, it's okay, continue.
but it will help eventually. I mean, there will be at least a path of a maintainable server for 1.8.
Okay, the next question I have would be, what mod has given you the least issues and the most issues in server maintenance? Because we all know mods have different SMP capabilities and different kinds of bugs in SMP.
The least issues would actually probably be, I think, Mindtweaker, because, you know, it doesn't really do anything without other mods.
Well, it actually does quite a lot, because it has to do all the synchronization on its own. It actually does all the SMP synchronization in the core.
True, but it doesn't give us any trouble at all.
Right.
But the worst lately has been RF tools since we got rid of IC2. The dimensions on it just well, they're dimensions. Dimensions are very, very slow.
Yeah.
And when you generate dimension, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Mindtweaker does not break everything from a server administrator point of view.
it tends to break things from a modern control point of view, but that's another story. It's more fit for
Yeah.
my talk.
Yeah, that's your talk.
Yeah, let's get on to servers.
I think I know the answer to that.
You do?
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's basically what it turns out to be. I mean, just no matter what, try not to be a dick. If you're a dick to a player, they'll be a dick back. Minecraft would, well, greatly improve if it was actually multi-threaded, because you know,
Mm,
I mean, it's basically a single thread right now, and each dimension is, all the dimensions are on that single thread.
well, in 1.8 they're all in separate thread.
Yes, but we're at 1.7.10.
Yeah. Actually, I still fondly remember the days of tick threading on 1.5.2 and how I got it to work on my server.
Yeah,
Wasn't tick threading
actually,
very unreliable and full of bugs and made all sorts of issues?
Yes,
yeah.
but if someone had a very light mod pack, like with only 10 or 15 mods, it actually worked very well. And yeah.
Yeah, I actually worked fairly close with the developer of tick threading from about 1.4.7 to 1.6.4, and it was actually mainly developed for our server, and that was to help originally to help the 4.7 Ultimate server be playable again. But yeah, multi-threading Minecraft would greatly improve performance on basically all fronts.
Any more questions? Also, Luax asked me if the our server is running on Cauldron. It's actually not running on Cauldron.
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, it isn't?
There's
It isn't
someone
because
who had an interesting question, which was, what are the server specs? And I suppose to add to that, like, how much does it cost to run it?
Well, right now, all our hardware and all is donated by, well, basically all the admins. They have spare hardware. But our main server specs are a quad-core Xeon with clocked at 3.2 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM, a 500 gig SSD, and 10 gig networking.
You have a better graphics card.
You have a better graphics card?
no,
Me,
you
it
do.
doesn't.
Oh,
One more question from me. Actually, I don't know whether I'll be saying as blowing my own trumpet here, but somebody asked a while ago about Forge Essentials. So, as the developer of Forge Essentials, what are your opinions on Forge-based server mod plugins like, yeah, you know.
yeah. Well, we actually run the normal full version of Essentials because that was the easiest transition from our 1.6.4 server to 1.7.10. But and we still run a lot of well, bucket plugins.
Ah, I see, I understand.
However, I have used Forge Essentials before. It does what it sets out to do good. It's just some of the more advanced features from the bucket plugins, like well, we use MCMyAdmin as our web control panel, and that doesn't have a Forge alternative. That is bucket only.
Right, thanks a lot.
I see our question stream is a bunch of emotes.
I can't answer questions
Made out of
can't
emotes.
answer emotes.
Oh, what is 1 + 1?
Someone asked a question, what do you do when someone comes to your server, makes a first day house, and exits and never comes back?
What's the question again?
When someone joins the server and makes a first day player's house and then they leave forever, what do you do?
We normally just leave the house in case they want to visit it again. But since everything is protected, it actually won't matter. The pack that attracted the most players was either the first TPPI or well, 147 Ultimate. I think 147 Ultimate has our most unique at about 3,000 players.
Please, can people stop with the phases? It's mucking up my recording. Like, it's making everything on the screen flash and go a bit weird.
There we go.
I
guess
love saving my inventory via NEI.
Yeah, me too. I have a question. Which packs do you currently run, and what's your favorite, I suppose?
Well, right now we're running our own custom pack because we were wanting to switch to 1710 and there was no packs out for it at that time. So we just decided to make our own pack. And it is currently a mixture of Infinity and TPPI 2.
Does it have better storage?
Yes, I think.
Does it have Flamingo?
No, it does not have Flamingo.
Boo!
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Boo!
It was a build of TPPI 2 from, what is it, 3 months ago, so you know.
Right. Dark Hacks has a question there.
Boo!
Wait, copy! What? Copy!
Boo!
Copy!
My
What are you
tomatoes.
doing?
Throwing tomatoes.
Why? Why?
We need
At
to
least I
pick...
like tomatoes.
Tomatoes!
Oh, someone actually buttered a tomato here.
I think Dark Hack's question is a very good question.
It is. Sanger's question is great.
Yeah,
Actually, with,
the flamingo thing is just a joke.
Most mods actually obey World Guard permissions. I mean, that's why we switched to World Guard, is because most mods obey it. And any mod that doesn't obey it, it's normally in such a small way that you can just not worry about it. It also helps since we have no IC2, so you know, no mining laser or nukes.
Is there any OP features that you had to like disable or like remove a mod for or something like that on the side?
We have currently disabled the dimension builder recipe from RF Tools. You know, because people are recreating about 20 dimensions a piece. And, you know, that wrecked the server economy from all the materials coming in. I like great tech, but I don't like IC2 anymore, so there's no great tech.
I think you missed Dark Hax's question, which was, do you think we should stop looking for a separate API like Bucket or Sponge for server management and instead work on developing Forge-based alternatives?
Well, Sponge is implemented using Forge.
However, it is a separate API.
Not
Yes,
that
it
much.
is.
Sponge, they developed something called Sponge Vanilla that they can run on vanilla Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
But the current implementation they are working on will be based on Forge. Last I knew. But more just pure Forge-based add-ons would be nice. I mean, Bucket is a hack, at least the way it is now. Sponge, I have a feeling, will be the same way.
Well, with an ever-changing game, I don't think there's any other way. At least until there's an official API, which may actually not come out anymore.
Well, yeah.
You never know, you never know.
Well, it might come out on the Windows 10 version. Since
Yeah, that was
they
another
are
thing.
well, since they are doing Xbox 3, Xbox One mods.
Well, strictly speaking, what I think they're going to do is that they're going to replace all the current jar modding with JSON so they can put it on Pocket Edition and Xbox as well because it's platform neutral. Sorry for interjecting.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
New microphone, you've got constant wind coming through.
it is. There is always a request for harder mod packs and like more balanced, but not really like the hardcore death equals ban style. But people always want at least fairly balanced mod pack.
On that subject, how do you think that the power creep that's been happening for a while now in unmodded MC affected the economy on public servers?
It affected it so bad that I added Project E. It didn't feel bad at all. And then I removed it in the next major update. Although that was very fun. I mean, it was nice just to have basically a throwback to Tekkit. But power creep, it's always been a race to see who can do something better and cheaper and in a single block. I mean, I think that's happened since the beginning of modded Minecraft.
Okay, seriously, can people stop with the phasers?
Please do stop.
AC, what?
He said yes, Guy and Kappa.
Yeah, that's why I'm scared.
If you mean by playing like in family as playing as like a player or running a business, I kind of do a mixture of both. Most of the time after the first week or so, I'm just like playing like a normal player. Because normally by then everyone's set up and most of their issues have been ironed out.
Ah, quiet!
Can someone globally mute Jackie D? XD Jackie XD, because he or she keeps. Whenever you're typing, it activates your microphone and it just comes through.
Yes, you need to configure push to talk.
Okay.
I think you can just click configure and then audio wizard and set up push to talk that way.
Okay, so I have a question. I don't know if it's been asked yet, but what are your thoughts on servers selling modded items?
I'm
Oh,
don't
wait,
really
and
like
sorry. And a follow up on that, do you think it's justified that some servers like DevCo, what they do is you earn points and you use those points to buy items so you can still buy points, but you can also earn them like helping out on the forums.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that because I believe it does violate the EULA.
Yeah, for
I-
sure.
I mean, we've never actually accepted money, I think. We might have a donate button but that I think just goes to pay the host is part of the host is internet bills. Well, actually, pay to play does not violate the EULA. It's when you actually buy the items, but you can actually pay to get on the server. That is valid.
Yeah, generally, Mojang's definition is if the payment gives you a gameplay advantage over non-paying players, then it's bad. So, like, pay-to-play servers are fine because non-paying players aren't on the server, so they're not compared. And cosmetic items are okay because they don't give a gameplay advantage.
Yeah, and then they added a stupid ruling about like hub servers and all that you have to actually connect to a different IP in order to fall under being able to pay for access.
So, a question we, I think, missed. Do you feel more like playing in family or running a business?
I most of the time just play, I guess, in family. I mean, past the first week I play like a normal player, but the first week normally is just a whole lot of helping out people. I mean, you're gonna have that whenever a brand new player joins, like brand new, never played modern Minecraft before. I kind of like the Twitch emoticons, but they do add a lot of chat clutter, which is a fairly big problem on popular servers. I mean, chat channels are basically a must. I mean, we have a local channel and a global channel, and those are just the two public channels, so I mean, that helps cut down on it a lot. They might be line height, but they add weird spacings. The Twitch streaming feature can be improved by streaming to sites other than Twitch.
Well, the problem with that is Twitch provides a proper API for that. I've looked into Beam, like a Beam bot before, and the Beam API, I don't see that provides like an API for streaming type thing.
Yeah, but didn't
I think
Beam
they will
just
add it
come out?
later.
Didn't Beam just come out like 2 months ago at most?
No,
Twitch
it's been
has,
around for a bit longer.
well, it's only started getting notoriety in the last few months, and Twitch has had both a lot more time and a lot more investment into it. Beam is still mostly limited to parts of the Minecraft community.
And Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Who is teleporting?
Who wants a ban, I guess?
Probably
I guess
somebody
I have
above
a
us.
question if nobody else is gonna say something.
Uh,
What kind of mod feature or like in general mod would you like to see, both in terms of server administration and like content-wise?
what type of mod would I like to see?
Yeah, mod or mod feature or mod edition.
I like pretty much any mod where I can change configs on the server and those get pushed to the client when they join. I mean, if your mod does that, that means I don't have to issue a patch update in order to fix a config issue. I mean, that's less updating for me as a player and, you know, less hassle as an administrator.
And content-wise, like for gameplay?
Lasers.
I see.
Lasers. Buildcraft has lasers.
That damage people.
Minecraft.
It's been on our issues list for a while, actually.
What do you think about the teeth mod suggestion?
I just have one thing to say. What?
What?
Yes, just what?
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 This is the part where we all say what?
It
What?
does look like I have a backlog, so...
Alpha Akbar.
Great.
Someone asked how often I use my banhammer, and that is actually not that much. Most players, especially now, just try not to goof around. I mean, we have fairly straightforward rules. I think there's 9 of them, but they all center around don't be a dick. And don't do this thing which we're going to tell you is bad. Because it'll probably crash the server.
Shush! Don't get in the way. I'm recording.
Yeah, don't worry. Banned.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're banned.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just about
they
to
just
once
interrupted
this
3
saw who
times.
It was.
And...
It was the same person. So they just got banned, so it's good. They can get
It feels so good.
I can hear fighting.
It's fitting too because of the question.
Yeah, I can hear fighting. What's happening?
Someone's storming, probably?
To the disk I/O question, I haven't actually measured, but it is about, I want to say, 500 megabits a second for 50 players. And our current server takes about 1 minute and 55 seconds to start.
Whoa.
It actually starts faster than my client.
How many mods are there?
189.
That's 17 squared.
Random knowledge. What's your opinion on QCraft? Is that even still a thing?
I don't think QCraft got a update to 1.7.10, but I liked its premise as a mod. I did play with it on 1.6.4, but it was never in any packs, so I never got to play multiplayer with it.
What is your opinion on JSON config systems?
Can I ask you a question back? What's bad with JSON configs, or like that's what it sounded like?
It was not meant to be that tone of voice. Like, do you prefer the Minecraft config? Like, if I had to make JSONables work like Minecraft config system compared to the current JSON system.
I like
Basically,
the
like,
JSON just because it is standard. It does follow at least some sort of standard. But sometimes just normal Minecraft configs are nice for some mods. But definitely when you're adding content, JSON is the best.
I think you missed my question on the server-to-server hatred.
We actually don't get much of that.
Could you read it out?
Because there's actually not that many modded servers.
And do you get DDoS attacks?
No. Not recently, at least. And, yeah. So I'm not the only one?
Nope.
So everyone just timed out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did time out.
Yep.
Server
What?
crashed.
Oh,
So that's why I was lagging.
The server still says
Notice there was still some
50
fixes.
last time this happened, the old service went down.
In before it's integrated circuits.
What was the question?
I'm trying to check what's wrong. But I...
Failed to connect to the server
no.
timed out.
No, the entire the server is not responding at all.
It pings fine, and it still says everybody's on the
Restarted?
server.
As in
But-
the Java part of it is not responding
Yeah,
at all.
a reboot might be the best thing to do.
Yeah, that
We want to kill it because there might be
happens.
some lingering.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I would, but I fear that we
Man,
might
this
get
wouldn't
some-
happen if we were running AlienMC servers.
We might get.
No, it would happen more
If there
often.
was an IC on there, then it probably would
Okay,
happen
so I
as
think
well.
we're just going to reboot it.
It's a shame that
Or
AlienMC didn't offer us a server for this.
The thing is, we did.
Dan's quite funny.
We offered the one with the 10 gig networking. Even though it has only 32 gigs of RAM. Versus our test server, which has 64 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, let's hope the rollback isn't big bad. Let's hope. I doubt it because the entire area was cold all the time.
And yes,
that's
I'm
usually the worst.
I'm looking. I saw your tweet where there's all three OS, where there's three OSs of one programming language.
Okay, let's see about this. Let's see. We're probably going to spawn in a battle world now. Okay, spawn in stone. That's not good.
I see, while you're trying to fix it, I suppose we can still continue the AMA.
Well, the server's back, at least. And the server's on display, so it's not that bad. I'm going to come back and see what's going on. Oh man, the server is going to hell. Trying to get everyone in right now. Is the image still displaying? Okay, so it didn't roll back.
Yeah, everything looks fine.
AC?
Oh, I'm standing with you now. Hi.
I just tried joining back again and then my game crashed.
There already was
AC?
a carpenter's door there.
AC, I request to have another Flux Crystals AMA now that we can show pictures. I feel that was unfair for me not to show pictures of the few blocks that I had.
I think you should wait because for MyCon it should have a high resolution for my talk. I'm still working on it.
Yeah, this is just random picture. I found.
Essentially, the problem with the pictures is that I'm still coding the software. We have massive holes in our time frame, so you could just run a talk whenever, I guess, if you.
Should have
Yeah,
put in
also
the
AC,
AlienMC logo.
just so you know, I have given Kuka an OP because he's helping me with the flux crystal stuff. He is a friend. Just so you know.
Okay. Okay, as I said, Jared, if you really feel unfair, you can just take the talk area and show it, but you need to figure out how to display the pictures
I
yourself.
think, to be honest, it's invalid because he can just place the blocks. He doesn't have to show the pictures.
You could place blocks. He can the server.
So, yeah.
Well, he can, yes.
Continue the AMM. Go.
Yes, let's do the AMA. Oh, new question.
Hold on, Minecraft
Also, the
loading!
reboot.
This wasn't supposed to be an AMA. This was supposed to be a talk about server administration. I wanna see that. I wanna hear that.
But it turned into an AMA.
Yeah,
What they asked,
because
what
I
they
can't
came.
figure out what to talk about.
I think it's froze again. Or maybe I just it's just lagging a bit because all the people are joining.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, I was like, what the hell happened?
You know, there's a
Yes.
Wait, okay, so AC, if I can have a talk whenever, does that mean I can have a talk about mod development today? Because I'm not going to be here for the one tomorrow. I'm sure some people also won't be here for the one tomorrow.
Well, we could just have a chat in the talks room if you really want to. Like we could hold a debate or something, but I still want to do my own AMA, so I think after that it would be a good time to do the mod development debate.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, just because it's tomorrow and I can't be here for tomorrow.
Okay,
so...
I guess we could do it like I mean we really could just do it after my part. I'm going to talk in like 2 hours from now.
Okay, and we certainly found out what's causing this lag. I'm sure I'm not the only one getting it.
Like the client side lag?
No, not client side. I know how to fix client side lag, just the server side lag. I'm in convention center, and I can't even place a block. I go even 100 meters away. No.
None of us have server
I go
side lag.
100 meters away, and I'm
None of us have server side lag. It's your connection.
Even though if I go like 100 meters away, it's still it's not lagging. It's like just this area.
I think, or maybe your computer cannot keep up.
My computer can keep up, I'm sure of that. Because like it was fine last night, remember?
I don't know, it works for everyone else, that's the problem.
Okay, fine.
You could try removing better FPS, that worked for someone.
That was the thing that worked for me.
Yeah, but if it's random and erratic, then I don't think it's a fault of a specific mod. It could be a fault of your ISP's routing to this specific server or something. Also keep in mind that the further the less packets you get.
I guess, where's the server located?
I don't know, ask Netify or check. Anyway, can we get back to the AMA?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, poor Hadn.
As a poor person who will have to edit this to remove all the cracking and whining.
Why is it crashing?
Why did you teleport me? Why?
What? I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
Oh man, more
Meaning
drama.
he did something.
Alright, is this talk going to continue?
You want to talk?
Hayden didn't say anything, that's why I was kind of,
Yeah.
The talk room is
I-
empty from what I can see. Unless there's two.
Hello?
Okay, well, that just
Was
filled
I
up.
using my old push to talk key again?
Probably.
I see.
Yes. I recently changed
Welcome
it to
back.
something that doesn't mess with Grand Theft Auto.
Is anyone going to ask any more serious questions?
Yeah, I think I saw one, and that is how
Oh,
do I
there's one
keep up
from-
with mod updates?
Yes.
And that is basically the best I can. I mean, it takes up to 3 days to get your pack approved, your pack update to get approved by FTB. So, you know, you can really only update at most every 3 days. So
Need to go and need to go get an ice cream.
Right, there's another question from Dark Hacks. To what extent do you feel features within mods should be configurable? I'm reading from the backlog.
what was the question?
To what extent do you feel features within mods should be configurable?
Most features I have no problem with, but if it's going to cause any sort of problem at all, you always want it to be configurable.
Hang on.
I mean, I actually prefer most things configurable.
AC, there's a dispenser here that's giving away staffs of traveling. Should I just destroy the dispenser because it's like they're so annoying for this type of setup?
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I think you should.
Alright, there are some questions. Number one, what do you think of open source launchers like the SKCraft launcher? And number two, do you check curse forum posts for stable versions or do you get development builds from Jenkins?
Let's go one by one.
Well, the first one, I like the open source launchers. They do important things, but our server is technically the official subreddit server for Feed the Beast, so while I would love to put on a different launcher, it kind of has to stay on the FTB launcher, but
Well,
they do
not
important
really.
things.
Because if the FTB subreddit is now just a modded subreddit, I can go and post something
Yeah, I know.
about Tekkit or Resonant Raz.
Yeah, I know, but still, it does kind of feel dirty putting it on a different launcher, but I like the open source launcher. I mean, they kind of take part of the mystery out of how does Minecraft actually launch.
Well, there's a good
Isn't the
question here.
FTB
I
launch
think
open source?
it is on GitHub. The current launcher isn't.
Yeah, the current launcher is not on GitHub. But they were all built basically close to the same source at the same time. So, you know.
Right.
And for the second one, I normally just get stable builds, unless of course something is extremely broken in the stable build. I mean, I try not to update the dev versions unless of course I have to. And the Reddit scandal going on right now, I want to hear at least some sort of official response from the admins.
What is... Can you just like quickly explain why is that going on with Reddit right now? Well, what is the Reddit scandal for the people that don't know?
The Reddit scandal is they fired Victoria, the admin in charge of AMAs, basically. just for no reason immediately. So slash
Without
r slash
without
IAMA.
telling the IMAMA mods, that's very important.
Any sub that had, well, actually no sub that had an AMA scheduled within, well, forever. And basically a whole bunch of subreddits went private to cache show support for IAMA for happening to close to figure out how exactly they continue.
Yeah, in regards to Reddit, if you don't mind my opinion, the whole voting system doesn't really work because there's no way to police people's opinions in quotation marks, so you can end up with a subreddit with tons of people that don't vote towards what the subreddit was actually about.
Well, that's essentially a trade-off of the internet. Like, you have this trade-off. On one side, you have a policed civil discussion, and on the other, you have the freedom to say whatever you want, and different communities pick different positions on the slider, so to say.
Oh, and another reason a lot of subs went private is because the mod tools suck. I mean,
Isn't this
Reddit.
an AMA about Minecraft servers, not about the Reddit shutdown?
Too late.
Well, there was a question about Reddit, so we're gonna talk.
We can answer it anyway.
you know.
It's still better than airspeeds of unladen swallows.
I mean, it is somewhat related to community management, so you know.
Well, I'm not the only one.
I mean, Reddit modules are just horrible.
So, what kind of pet would you like to have? 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Hey, it was
I really
200
don't
when you
care
asked me.
because, well, they both shouldn't be pissed off at me.
No.
I said the same thing.
You should like. What kind of pet would you like to have? Which one of those?
I don't know, the horse-sized duck would be pretty cool because then you'd have a horse-sized duck, and you can ride a duck around.
I disagree, but okay.
Well, would you rather take care of one really large animal or 200 really small animals?
It's 100 in this case.
Well, still. I mean,
Could you find
that's
fish
a lot
that
of mouths
size?
to feed.
Like, you'd have to find, like, I don't know, swordfishes or something to feed to the horse-sized duck.
Well, that's still better
never
than
mind, I
trying to
just
find
considered
enough to feed duck-sized horses. Does anyone have any more questions?
How do you find the con so far?
Yes, yes, that's a good one.
It's pretty good. I mean, you can't really tell the build was done in less than 24 hours.
It was done in 18 hours exactly, and 8 of that I was sleeping.
Yeah, it actually looks better than most of my builds that take a couple weeks.
Was it true to its name?
Well, yes, because I'm not at Minecon.
Well, the name, well, it depends because the name has two meanings. The first one is as in better than Minecon, as in an improvement over Minecon, and the second is like you have better than wolves, which is trying to be something better but different, because better than wolves doesn't really have much in the terms of wolves in it, because it's better than wolves. So we're better than Minecon, so we're not doing the same thing Minecon is, we're trying to do something different that I think would be better for the community. Well, kind of.
It kind of actually achieves both of those meanings, because no, I was wondering that earlier.
Given that
I'm
the start
trying
is a
to-
joke, that's a surprisingly reasonable explanation.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine a server with like 10,000s of people on it at the same time.
Well, to be fairly honest, it was a joke, and up until like last evening, it was pretty much a joke. And I'm still surprised that we have a real con going, and I think I actually like it more than Minecon, maybe because this one is actually more informative.
Well, and you know, I don't have to fly over to.
Yes, and the
UK.
best part I like it about it is that there's no like this superiority feeling that the guys on stage are kings of the modding scene or whatever, but we can actually feel all as equals and just talk.
Wait, AC, are you saying I'm not a king?
What?
Are you a lemming?
Well, obviously, you're a queen.
Are you a king lemming?
There are lots of people joining tonight. Well, I don't think there will be a lot of people joining myself, but I still think there's a massive amount of people here. And if too many people join, the server is going to crash, so it's not a good idea.
I would have another
what's our limit?
question, a follow-up question.
I'm still calculating how much horsepower you need to run 10,000 people.
I think if we wanted to use 10,000 people, we would need to like use a different game for starters.
No, you can use it doing a bungee cord.
Yeah, I guess yes, but we could just use a giant bungee cord server.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the talk should end in about 3 minutes, as that that will be an hour, and I need to get a rest.
I have not used, resource or command block mods in 1.8.
Well, keep in mind that
It's not good to skip.
that 10% of the rendering right now is actually rendering all the player plates and all the text around here. Well, back then when we were talking, there were 60 in one room.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my talk, I think everyone was in the
I
room.
think for the next Better Than Minecon, I will probably just rewrite the Minecraft font renderer.
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, as a server admin, what would you think? Questions. God damn it. So, what would you do to improve this if we were to host it again?
Probably a better server, more time. First of all, I would say.
Well, more time. I mean,
I did not know that's how that works.
I mean, I think basically more time. The server seems to be pretty stable so far. I mean, it does 60 people on it, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's running very well for a pack made in 10 hours with lots of beta versions of mods and 60 people on it simultaneously.
I mean...
just let me tell you, you have no idea what was going on backstage when we were setting up the server. You have no idea.
That was great. Considering last night when I was going to download integrated circuits, because apparently the CurseForge version is shit. Vic was like, download this, and then he gave me the one you probably have here now.
No, the one we probably have was made, I think, 30 minutes before we launched.
Oh wow.
No, I thought it got piled 15 minutes before.
No, I think we compiled Open Computers 15 minutes before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Circuits, not open computers.
Well, I think we compiled integrated circuits about 30 minutes before.
I think the last mod we updated was actually Ender.io. I think it was... No, Matter Overdrive. I made a Java 7 version of Matter Overdrive and released it literally 30 seconds before the con.
Yeah.
Hey, AC, did you get permission to release it before the con?
I actually really don't care about Tinkers or Iguana. I'll play both of them. I do like Iguana a little, better because
Well-
you can replace tools. Can replace parts and tools.
Well, it appears
And,
that our mod pack is illegal, but we have the mod one of the mod authors on here, so it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, Java 7 version is fine.
Yeah, I'm going to pull request it to you if you want me to. Although it's a quit hotfix, so I don't think you want it. It's a mess. I coded in the last 5 minutes before the con. While I was rebooting the server at the same time, it's not a good idea.
Wow, that's insane.
Sometimes you need to do insane things to get a server working, and I think we're all happy with the result.
So, I suppose, does anyone have any questions anymore? Or does the talkie want to say anything before the end of the talk?
I see 2
See,
questions
reminds me
earlier up
that
on the
better than
screen.
Minecon is illegal. What?
It's a long story. Let's just leave it at that.
Scrolling
can
up, there's a
somebody
question from
open
SpawnX. How do you deal with immature players?
That's a good question.
I mean, immature in what way? If they're immature in breaking rules and all, they'll get normally a warning first and then they'll be banned. But if they're just immature, you know, attitude-wise and just like physically immature, I can't really do much with that.
How about one day bug you to no end?
Well, then I do as I normally do and just don't pay attention to chat.
Are you
Too much on
aware that
someone
you...
because he's late.
Are you aware there are 2 minutes over time?
Hey.
I've got a request. Can somebody take an empty booth and build the drama generator again?
The what?
Drama generator.
Someone make a mod. We need that in the game.
Yeah, I really think it needs to be a mod.
To generate drama.
Well, we have the source.
And then-
We have the source code in both Java and PHP. We can probably rebuild it for an actual mod.
I think what needs to happen, it needs to spawn
Drama
in
or-
certain people from the community who like talk shit at each other.
Well,
Basically,
randomly
pick up
generated
audio
shit.
from Mumble and generate RF with it. Something really like that.
There was a solution, an idea I saw proposed once, which was generate energy for every time someone dies like an idiot.
Yes, I would be rich. I think that's everything.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think that's everything.
bravo.
Also, this guy is late. He should have been here an hour ago.